Okay, hello again to everyone. Welcome to the Water Innovation Lab webinar, the first time that we all gather together. I'm going to be handing it over to Karen. If you cannot see Karen, please type into the chat box and I will try to resolve that. In the meanwhile, we've got a share screen and you will be able to hear Karen. So please, if there's any technical challenges, okay, I see some people saying they can't see Karen, so I'll take care of that. Once I hand it over to her, you will be able to hear her, and in the meanwhile, I'll take care of the video.
Hi, everybody. So as we get started here, can people hear us? I see there's 23 participants on. We are waiting. We have 32 people that have signed up, a combination of participants and some of our resource guests. So I can see somebody said, yes, they can hear and see me. Okay, wonderful. So welcome, everybody. This is a very exciting moment for us. This is where the Water Innovation Lab India sort of becomes more real. We can't wait, obviously, to meet everybody in person, and there's been lots of emails flying back and forward. So we've got a lot to get through. And so for starters, I think people know this, but this is the first time that the Water Innovation Lab is happening in India, and it's a very exciting partnership. I hope IC Impacts agrees. It's a partnership between IC Impacts and Waterlution, and it's also the first time that we're working together, and so it's been a really exciting process for us. And we have other partners as well, like the Water Youth Network, which some of our participants are associated with, Wells for India, Swaraj University. There's some people that have affiliations with Swaraj. And yeah, we have Del Taurus. I don't think Lucas Jensen is on the call right now. I think he's going to be listening to the recording. Oh, just as a note, Donna, are you recording? Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is really, let's sort of start delving into the details. Some of you are familiar with the Water Innovation Lab model, and so I'm not going to go into that in great detail, but for those of you that are new to the Water Innovation Lab model, this will be our fourth Water Innovation Lab. So we've hosted two in Canada, one in 2010 and one in 2013. We did our first one outside of Canada in Scotland, so the Water Innovation Lab Europe, last fall in 2015. And there's 5 of them happening in 2017. So it's a big year, and we're kicking off the year with India. And this is our biggest Water Innovation Lab to date. So we've never done 12 days. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And from the enthusiasm that we've heard from our resource guests and from the applications, and then from all of you that were accepted, there seems to be a really nice sort of excitement in the air and real keen interest to meet each other. And we're going to have an amazing 12 days together. And obviously today we are gathered to make sure that we are all on the same page and that we're sharing the same information with everybody. So Donna, will you flag me if you ever want me to stop, because I'm not monitoring for questions. But I will pause. So if you have a question, put it in the chat box and Donna will look at it, and I'll try and pause as we get through this and take some questions, okay? So the first thing that we are going to do, I've got about 8 items that all have sub-items off of them. So they're sort of in order, but you know, we've just tried to think of anything and everything that you might want to know about. So the first thing is around the schedule and arrivals and everything like that. So we have people, like, so what was advertised to everybody on the website is what we are delivering on. So that means that we have 15 Indian participants, 15 Canadian participants, and at this moment in time we have 9. We said 10, but one person wasn't able to make it. 9 people that are not Canadian or Indian. So for ease of discussion, we call them the Global 10 is what we call them, but they are, where do we have? We have Mexico, Austria, we have Brazilians, Americans. Interestingly, the Americans are in Chile and South Africa. We have Bangladesh. We have Wei, I don't know if you're on, who's from China but studies in Canada. I hope I haven't forgotten any. Oh, we have 3 French people. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't forget the French people. And I think those are the global people. So it is a really exciting mix of people. So people are going to be arriving from different parts of India as well as around the world. So one of the things that's going to happen after this call is we obviously need to know when you are arriving. We need your flight details. Now, everybody has different circumstances. Some people have already booked their travel. Some people are waiting to book their travel. Some people are working with, for the resource guests on the call, some of you are working with IC Impacts on your travel. Some participants are going to be working with WILIndia on your travel. So for the individual cases, please be in touch with us, you know, in the channel that you know that you're working in. What is going to happen, Donna has created a flight chart, and she is going to email that to everybody, and we ask everybody to put in the details of your flight numbers, your arrival, your departure, and for those people that have booked their Udaipur to Mumbai flights, there's a column as well in that chart for you to fill in those details. Okay, so this is important. We don't want anybody flying out of Udaipur before the morning of January 29th. The other thing, I think I've shared many emails with people around this, but just so that nobody is forgotten, for those people coming in from overseas, we are encouraging everybody to land on the evening of January 17th. Some of the flights, I think, fall into the early morning hours of January 18th. We will have your hotel rooms booked for you, and we will make sure that you are taken care of. But don't worry about, oh, I didn't think the program started till January 18th. Basically, we started to realize as we were looking at flights that it was much better for people to arrive on the 17th, get a good night's sleep, and be fresh for the next day. The other thing too is for resource guests that are on this call, Donna has a list of all of your emails, and she will send you an email reminder, and you can forward her your flight information as well. Other note is, just because for everybody flying in internationally, the hotel that we are staying at in Mumbai is called Hotel Transit. It is very close to Mumbai's international airport, and they do have an airport shuttle. And we are working with them to organize the pickups. This is partly why one of our first things that we're going to need from you is your flight information, so that we can hand that over to them. So we will do everything we can to have the airport shuttle, or myself, Donna, or one of our other facilitators, Flavia and Archana, who are both on this call, and I will speak about them more further into the call. So we want you to be well taken care of. But just as a precaution, or as a backup plan, especially for people that have not been to Mumbai before, when in a few weeks, when you get a full schedule with us, with all the hotel information and addresses and everything, we are asking you to print up a fairly detailed map from the airport to the hotel, just in case something happens and for some reason the shuttle is not there or we're not there. This is just a precaution. This is not what we want to have happen. And that you were to get yourself into a taxi and get to the hotel, it would just be very helpful for you to be able to help the driver know where you're going. Okay, so that's just a precaution. Other things that have come up, I know everybody's really keen to get into the day-to-day schedule. I've had several requests for that, so we're going to talk about that in a moment. For most of the foreigners coming, so basically non-Indians, everybody will be applying for an e-tourist visa. And Sue Ropel and I at IC Impacts, we are fully aware that you can only apply for that 30 days in advance. And so I know that in your original packages that went out, we said that we wanted all this info from you by yesterday. We absolutely understand that that visa information is not coming yet. And so, you know, just know that we know that. Okay, so now I'm going to spend time on the schedule. I'm not going to go into great detail, but I'm going to go into some detail that highlights some of the stuff that exists online. And you will be getting a printout, like a PDF, is one of the things that will be coming in your package in the next few weeks. Yes, oh, Don has pulled it up on the screen. That's very helpful. So everybody arrives on the 18th. So here's another thing for the Indian people, because we have some people flying in from Delhi. I think it's easiest for you to fly in on the morning of the 18th, and then you can come hang out at the hotel and check into your hotel room. Please be in touch with us, either myself or Donna, if for any reason you want to come in on January 17th. The only reason we're not encouraging that too much is that we've booked a group of rooms on the 17th. And at this moment in time, that includes a lot of the international people. So it's easier for us if the Indian people come on the 18th. And of course, the same thing applies, which is the airport shuttle will pick you up. In the airline chart, please be specific of which airport you're coming into, if it's the domestic airport or the international airport, and we will get you to the hotel. But I'm thinking that probably by about 12 noon on January 18th, there will be lots of excitement happening at the hotel as people have slept and they've had breakfast, and we don't want to deprive any of the Indian participants from being part of that. So you are welcome anytime on January 18th. The official program starts at 4 p.m. on January 18th. We will be in the hotel. For those of you that don't know WILIndia at all, our process is very interactive. We do a lot of activities to get people engaged and in discussion. And so that is what we will be doing the opening evening. One of the goals of the whole program is to make sure that you are building incredibly valuable friendships and professional relationships. And so this is going to be something that is going to be there all the time. We really see success is after 12 days together, that all 40 participants, all of the resource guests, that you feel that you've spoken to everybody, that you have a sense of what people do, that you've, clear ideas of ways that you will be in touch in the future, ways you may collaborate. And so this really kicks off right from the opening night. The next day is very full-on field tour day. So Archana, one of our facilitators, has been working hard. When I was in Mumbai in September, we met with the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, and very fortunate, we met with the commissioner, and he introduced us to the chief engineers of drinking water and wastewater. And so we have a very large field tour day on the 19th. You will be on coaches a lot, 2 coaches, and we will have various stops where we have the 2 chief engineers with us as resource guests, as well as touring different facilities. We will make our way down into central Mumbai, into Kolaba, where they are developing a whole new state-of-the-art wastewater facility. And we won't be able to see it because it's in early days of construction, but they're going to share with us sort of how the city is moving and, all the sort of innovative approaches they're taking and sort of how they're looking at managing water resources in this mega city. So I think it's going to be a fascinating day, and we will eat dinner in the city and then bus home. And I'm going to guess, just even thinking about it makes me tired. It's going to be an amazing day, but an exhausting day. The following day, we are working with Tata Social Sciences, and we are just figuring out some details. I don't know if Jerry Hanna, one of our resource guests, I know is really keen to get some very firm dates on this. We're still working on it, Jerry, which is, it's probably going to be 10 to 12 noon. As I think many of you know from your acceptance letters, we had a really large uptake in the number of applications that we received, and there's a lot of interest in what we're doing, which is wonderful, and really in what all of you are doing. Like, the resource guests are incredible, the applications, the participants, all of you are working studying, researching incredible things. And we wanted there to be a showcase for there to be a larger forum. And so this is what we're going to be doing at Tata Social Sciences. The space that we have booked is for 120 people. And so we are working right now on curating that experience. For the resource guests that are on the phone, we will get more into this on December 15th on our resource guest call. But this is going to be one of the places where the resource guests are going to be sharing different areas of expertise, because this is a really important piece of the whole Water Innovation Lab process, is how do we make sure that everybody that we're involved with in this program, how do we make sure that you have multiple opportunities to understand each other's work and then to be able to build on that. So this Tata Day is a very big networking day. It's a wonderful way. IC Impacts has some incredible projects across India. It's a wonderful showcase for them as well to share the diversity of their work. So the Tata Day is not only about the Water Innovation Lab, it's about a larger networking forum. And so we really hope that it will be exciting. And as we have this webinar, details on that are developing. And so that will come in the weeks ahead in your schedule. Then there's going to be an afternoon where we think we are going to do some options, in that there's some very interesting traditional fishing villages off of Juhu Beach in Mumbai. And we will be offering people an opportunity to go and have some visits there. But we also know that people are going to be a combination of tired or just needing some downtime. And so again, you will get a link in January about if you think you want to join this or not. And so it'll be an option between downtime or having this extra experience. And we will accommodate that. We will be back at the hotel for dinner that night. We will do some sort of reflection on what has happened in the Mumbai part of the program. And then the next day, depending on when the flights are booked, so we are flying as a group. We can't book those flights yet until we have all of your information and your incoming flights. It's just we need to hand all of that over to the travel company. So we'll be flying either on one flight or on two flights. And depending on how that works out, we will have our first, I guess the opening night is definitely facilitated discussions, but we will be starting to introduce the theme areas and the, let me rephrase that. We will be introducing the theme areas on the opening night, but we will be taking those further to the next step on the morning of Saturday, January 21st. And so this will be, especially for the participants, for you to be looking at. We will have a series of exercises that we're going to go through, probably do a Pro-Action Cafe, to get people grouping around topics that are of interest to them, are connected to their research areas. It'll all unfold and make sense. This is where Archana and Flavia and Donna will lead this process. And that will be sort of the formation of your smaller teams. Now, everybody on the Water Innovation Lab, you're going to be interacting with each other all the time. So you don't have to worry that you're only going to be with your small team. No, that's not the case. But you will be doing you'll be doing a deeper project, if you will, with your team that will be 4 to 5 people. I don't really think it will work too well if it's much greater than that. But obviously we'll be flexible on the time depending on what happens. So our hope is that we run that workshop in the morning, and then we have time, we travel to the airport, and we all fly to Bhuj. If for some reason we have to flip that, we have to flip that. But those two things will happen on that day, and we will be in Bhuj by the evening of the 21st. We obviously have another hotel there. And what day are we on then? The morning of the 22nd is a big facilitation day. So the other piece too, for the resource guests on this call, again, we'll go into more detail on December 15th, but it will be important to see the collective projects or the group projects that are happening. And then what we will be asking is for the resource guests to align, and we'll be looking for 2 to 3 resource guests per project group. So again, we'll go into more detail on that on December 15th. But the idea is that obviously the resource guests have been brought on. They hold a vast array of knowledge, from technical to policy to innovations to startups, financing, and they were chosen based on the 7 theme areas, as were the participants. So every single person on this Water Innovation Lab has an interest, affiliation, deep research areas they work in, one or multiple of the 7 theme areas. So we are really going to start to move that to the next level on Sunday the 22nd. And we will be doing also some facilitation training. It's something at WaterLution that is probably our most asked after training. So we'll be doing facilitation training, and yeah, we'll have a really exciting day, and it's gonna be full on, but we will be, you know, inside, very interactive, and that will be our day. We'll be eating at the hotel that day or somewhere very close by. Of course, we're always trying to think about how do we show you a variety of parts of India, and you know, we'll be thinking about that while also taking into account that we're constantly moving 50 to 55 people around, and so also not trying to make things too complicated. Our first, or I guess our only day in Bhuj of community visits is the Monday, January 23rd. And so what will happen then is there will be 4, we're just working out the details and where the communities are and who the other partners will be. There will be 3 or 4 day-long community visits, again, aligned with the 5 theme areas, where we are working with different partners. There's a few of them mentioned on the online schedule, and a little bit like what's happening with Tata in Mumbai. It's like there's many moving parts happening as we speak right now. And so people will be, all the participants will be selecting one of these community visits, and resource guests, again, will be asked to, you know, divide so that we have different technical and different water knowledge based on the different theme areas. Yes, there will be a facilitation piece to that, but there's going to be some elements of surprise as well. So we're going to leave how that's all going to come together on those days. But people will sign up, and you'll be out in communities in, you know, within an hour and a half of Bhuj. So again, very exciting day, but a very full-on day. We will regroup as an entire team back at the hotel that evening. Obviously, we will do some things to reflect and to cross-share and cross-pollinate and learn from each other, while also taking into account that people will probably be quite exhausted. And we want you to sleep, because the next day is also a big day. Pretty much every day is a big day. So on January 24th is, I guess, our kind of tourist day, if you will, and a very, very big travel day. So we will be checking out of the hotel, and we will be on the on a coach. I think it's 2 coaches, Archana told me, so 2 air-conditioned coaches, where we will be going to the step wells. I believe they're the oldest step wells in India, but they're definitely a UN heritage site, and they're near Patan, and they are just incredible. And so we just felt like it was something that is on our route, and we needed everybody to see. So we'll be spending roughly 2 hours there. We will then be getting back on the coaches. We'll probably have lunch nearby there. We will keep going, and we will end our long but exciting day at Mount Abu. And for those of you who don't know, I'm sure many of the Indians or all the Indians know that it's a really special place. For the non-Indians, I don't know if you know about it, but Mount Abu is just a really, really beautiful place, and we're really excited that we get to spend one night there. So we will check into another hotel at Mount Abu. You will have some free time. I'm sure many of you are going to be asking about downtime. As you can see, there's not a lot of downtime. But as the program unfolds, we're very aware that both just mentally people need downtime, and that, you know, we're in Bhuj. For example, we know that many people will say, I'd really like to see a little bit of Bhuj. So we will take that into account within the facilitation schedule, probably on Sunday the 22nd. For example, we will finish at a certain time so that people can have free time, because we don't want to burn you out either. From Mount Abu, you'll have some free time in the morning, and then we will do a 3-hour coach journey that will take us to Udaipur and to Swaraj University. So one thing that's important for people to know about Swaraj is it's an amazing place. It's the perfect part of our journey to be at Swaraj. But I just want people to have expectations that it's not a great, huge university campus. It is more like an outdoor retreat center. It is wonderful. It's just going to be such an amazing time because we will have been in hotels up until then. And now we're going to be moving more into this retreat-like setting, but everybody will know each other better. And we're really excited about what the space offers, and that we will be in nature, and it's the perfect learning space for sort of the third stage, if you will, of our time together. And we will be, most of our meals, I think, will be happening at Swaraj. Let me pause for a moment. I almost have to just catch my breath. Donna, do we have any questions? Or I'm just going to pause for a moment if people want to take a moment to write in any questions that I can maybe address at this point before I carry on. We do? Can you turn your microphone on, please?
Okay, so let me see. We've got questions here. I see one from Gaspar.
I can't hear you.
Okay, let me see. My microphone is unmuted. So there we go. There we go. So we've got a question from Gaspar. I understood that on the 20th, it is an occasion to share the diversity of our work experiences. Can you explain the format and if presentation would help?
Okay, Gaspar. Yes, you will have that opportunity. No, I can't describe the format to you right now. Because we need to figure out the format with Tata first, which is taking longer than we had hoped. So
Karen, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I was told I was on mute. So, Gaspard, I'm smiling because yes, you will have an opportunity. That opportunity is going to happen more on the opening evening of the 18th. That's going to be a big part of our interactive evening. We start at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and we're going to be together eating dinner and everything, but a lot of the facilitated discussions are going to go till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So there will be an opportunity on the 20th. I can't give you the format right now because we're not quite ready. The figuring out the timing with Tata and our additional guests, we need to figure that piece out. But please note, yes, it will happen. I just can't give you those details now, but they will come. Do you have another question?
Yes. So we're going to play a mute-unmute game here. There we go. So we've got a question from Ashish asking, what are the theme areas like?
I'm on unmute. The theme areas are on the website, and there's 7 of them. So I don't need to, they're under About. If you go under About the program, they're at the bottom of that page. Just go to About the program on the website. And if you scroll down to the bottom, there are the 7 theme areas. And they've always been there. And so it's a good thing for people to sort of spend time looking at those. Okay, any other questions, Paul?
Yes, we've got a question from Ramala Verma, who is one of our resource guests. Where are we staying in Bhuj?
I'm smiling. Oh, I'm not on mute. No. We are talking to 2 different hotels, and we will let you know in the schedule soon.
So we've got an interesting one from Jessica. Will we be able to watch the presidential inauguration on that day, the 20th, Slightly unrelated.
Is it the 20th or the 21st? I thought it was the 21st, but it's, if she says it's the 20th, on the 20th, I need to know the time zone. So the answer is, in theory, yes, but if we are at Tata, no, India's ahead. I believe we will be at the hotel that evening. And I just need confirmation on what our time difference is. It's the same as Toronto because it's Washington. So it's 9.5 hours. Yeah, I think that we will be at the hotel in the evening. So Jessie, she can lead the who wants to come to our room, and we can figure it out. But I think timing wise, I think it will work with the process. Cannot hear Karen. Jerry is saying cannot hear Karen. But I'm not on mute, so I don't, can you hear me, Donna? Okay, sorry, Jerry, I don't know. Okay, he can hear me now. Perfect, Sylvie can hear me. Oh, it's so nice seeing all your names pop up, so exciting. So yes, that's the answer to Jessie. And something I didn't mention before, people will be in shared rooms. So people will be in 2 single beds and have a roommate, and we are going to mix it up. So you'll have obviously the same roommate in Mumbai, then we'll go to Bhuj, you will have a different roommate, you will have, we haven't figured out for Mount Abu yet, you'll either have the same roommate as Bhuj or we'll mix it up again. And then in Swaraj, it's usually 4 or 5 people per room. And so obviously we've done this intentionally so that people get to mix it up. For the resource guests on this call, for the most part, you are in single rooms. There's the odd occasion where people are sharing, but I think most people are in single rooms. And figuring out at Swaraj if we're going to have enough space for everybody, or if resource guests are going to be at a hotel, which is not ideal because it's just going to take away from the community building that we're trying to do. So these are all details that we are on top of and figuring out. Any other questions? I think we should just do one more question and then I should keep going because some of my other chat might answer things.
Okay, so we've got one more from Daniela. Will we work in groups 4 to 5 people, you said, on the 21st, just for the day, or will there be a kind of project to be developed within those groups throughout a longer period?
Very good question. Correct. Yes, you will be in this group and you will be a small team working on your project. So let me get through the rest of the schedule, but you will be, there will be time in the schedule at different intervals, and you will all be pitching back your projects that will be centered around like a problem question. Like, what is it that you want to innovate around? What is the question or the challenge that is to be addressed? And then you'll be working as a team to look at this, and you will be pitching back on January 28th as a team. So I'm just going to keep moving because otherwise I'm going to see if we can stick to an hour. I don't know because I'm only on bullet 1C. There's 8 bullets, but I'm going to try and power through here. So once we get to Swaraj, it's going to be a really fun evening, a little bit of downtime, but kind of downtime as well to be in nature, but also to be together and to get into our new space, eat our meal there. And then the next day is Republic Day in India. So January 28th, we have some fun things planned. It is somewhat on program, and there's free time as well. For those that don't know, Udaipur is a city of lakes. It's beautiful, and people are going to want to explore it. And so what is going to happen on the 28th is that through Manish Jain, so one of our resource guests he's the founder of Swaraj, he and some of the people within his Shikshantar network are going to be offering city tours. And he does incredible city tours around the history and the architecture of Udaipur. And he's making a special program for us that talks about many water elements, both in the design of space, but also water usage and how it's evolved. And there will be 2, people can either do a morning tour or an afternoon tour with him and some of his colleagues. And then when people are not on tour, they will be having downtime. And Then we will all go for dinner that evening in Udaipur and then be taking the coaches. The coaches are with us pretty much all the time, moving us, from Bhuj all the way to Udaipur and staying with us with our days in Udaipur. So we will eat in Udaipur and then we'll go back, obviously, to sleep at Swaraj. January 27th is our field tour day or community visits day in the greater Udaipur in Rajasthan area. And I'm blanking on one of them. One of them is on water regeneration. One of them is on tribal communities. Archana, if you are on there, oh, I'm so sorry. I am just blanking on the third theme. Anyway, it will be in the final schedule that we send you. And again, like we did in Bhuj, people will sign up for what it is that they would like to go, and it will be a day out with different, visiting different communities, different organizations, and sort of going deeper into some of those issues. Of course, they align with the 7 theme areas. We will come back, again, exhausting day. We will eat at Swaraj. And then the 28th is going to be a day where we are at Swaraj all day. And this will be another day where you will now be working with your team. So on the 26th as well. So sorry, on the morning of the 25th at Mount Abu, on the 26th, we're going to be asking you almost every day to have at least some time with your small challenge team or long-term team, like WILIndia team, if you will, to make sure that you're moving these things forward. Again, everything's going to be very clear to you once we get into the level of detail that we're going to get into in India. But for the sake of the webinar, there's not enough time to get into how all of this will unfold. But this is sort of like a taster of all the things that we're going to be working on. And yeah, so then there will be a pitch session on the afternoon of the 28th. Then there will be some downtime. And then we will get ready for our closing evening where we will, have music and dancing and all kinds of fun things at Swaraj. And, I guess in some ways, be starting our goodbye process, but having a celebration together. Another really important note is that, by Western standards, there's very Indian culture, in Hindi culture, there's very little alcohol, if any. And so I just want people to have that understanding that for the most part, alcohol is not going to be something that we're going to be consuming a lot of, if any, on the Water Innovation Lab. When we are eating in hotels and stuff like that, of course, those people who would like to have alcohol are welcome to do so and pay for that themselves. But, just to make sure that we understand that there's many cultures here, and obviously to be respectful, of sort of the culture that we are in. And for the most part, Rajasthan is a dry state in the hotels, for the times that we are in Udaipur. Of course, it's no problem if somebody wants to have a beer or a glass of wine. And, just to have that understanding of, what we're doing, that we're not there. So when I say we're having a closing party, we're having a lot of fun, but that is not alcohol at all. And there, Swaraj has a very strict no smoking policy as well. So if anybody does smoke cigarettes, they have to go to outside the boundaries of Swaraj. And then I'm finishing the schedule on the morning of the 29th. We wake up, we have breakfast at Swaraj, and then the buses will be taking people to the airport. And so we don't have any programming on the 29th, but we really we've learned from our past Water Innovation Labs that having that finale party together is really important. And so that's the way that the schedule has gone. And I've shared with many people the goindigo.in website for those booking that exit flight. I know that the first flight back to Mumbai is at 10:10 in the morning. And not everybody's flying to Mumbai. Some people will be staying behind. Some people will be going to Delhi or anywhere else. But we just ask that you don't book any flights really before 10 a.m. because we will have these coaches and we'll want to get everybody to the airport at the same time. For those that have not yet booked their travel out of Mumbai, we are asking that the very earliest you book flights is the evening of January 29th. Again, just allowing for a buffer of a flight delay or something like that. I know my flight, I think flies out at 2 in the morning. So technically on January 30th, but it's the night of the 29th. And, you know, we just obviously don't want anybody missing international flights. So we're asking for you to take that into consideration. Now, seeing what else is on my notes. Are there any pressing questions? Can you just have a skim, Donna, if you think that there's something from a schedule point of view or something that I should look at before we keep going? Okay, sure. I'll address them at the end. I'll keep going. Okay, so I've mentioned the visa piece. I'm looking at my notes here. Transport. Oh, okay, so really, really big thing. I hope you all agree that our goal of this, one of the goals is to keep everybody healthy. Okay, and one of the things is obviously, especially for the foreigners, but it's very important, Archana reminded me of this, is that Indian people can get sick too. And so Archana was making me smile when I was there in September, saying that like so often when foreigners and Indians get together, that Indian people are spending so much time trying to make sure that the foreigners don't get sick, that they end up getting sick, maybe out of exhaustion, trying to keep the foreigners healthy. So this is a collective effort, and we really want people to be prepared. So all of you in your acceptance letters were told about the vaccinations that you need to get. Please go to the tropical disease clinic. You know, many of you are very well traveled, so many of you may already have the vaccinations, but please make sure that you do look into that. While you are at the health center, tropical disease clinic, please have some form of backup in case you were to get very sick. In my notes, I've called them the desperation tablets. Again, it's just, you know, it's so normal. Different bacteria in your system and stuff like that. Of course, we will do everything we can if anybody gets sick. But nobody wants to get sick. You know, it's not fun. Realistically, yes, probably people will get sick, but I am going to do everything I can to make sure that I'm trying to keep with people. You know, so know your body. And bring what it is that you think you need. You know, do you have Pepto-Bismol with you? Do you have tablets in case you had very, you know, an extreme stomach upset or anything like that? The other thing too is that many foreigners drink bottled water. That will be an option for people. For those of you that are thinking, oh my goodness, we're on the Water Innovation Lab, I don't want to be drinking bottled water. Please take the time right now to figure out what is going to be the approach that you're going to take. Do you want light, you know, there's different tablets that you can get. There's different water filtration systems. So we're not here to dictate this to you, but we just want you to say like, this is something, anybody getting sick obviously affects the whole group. So please take this seriously and think about what it is, how is it that you are going to, you know, deal with water, the water situation. Are you going to be buying bottled water there, or what is going to be your alternative? Is there any, I just want to pause. Does anybody have any questions on this? It's an important topic, and I don't know if anybody wants to add something that I've missed or anything like that. Okay, so there's no health ones. Okay. Donna, can I hand it over to you to introduce the facilitation team? I'm just going to mute my mic.
Okay, so I'm muting. If Karen, you could just place me on audio mute on your, so I don't hear the echo. And I'm going to invite Flavia, let's see, Flavia and Archana. There we go. We can see you now. I can see you. I hope others can see you too. So Flavia and Archana, Flavia is from Brazil, Archana is from India, and you're welcome to unmute your microphone and say hi to everyone.
Hello. Hi, guys.
So they're dear, dear friends of mine from another walk of life. And I love that this combination of talent, skills, facilitation skills, water knowledge, community-based knowledge is all coming together to help us create the design. And I've been receiving some comments in the background that we won't directly address on the webinar, but that we will definitely be taking them into account as facilitators as we design. So Gaspar, I just want to note that I've received your comments and we will take care of that on the facilitation end. And Karen, I think I'll pass it back to you just to keep track of time. And there are quite a few questions that we can address after. Maybe just before you go back, Karen, Flavia and Archana, do you have anything else you'd like to add? Or even Archana in terms of health-related topics?
Talk about just India as a whole. Like, I feel like Arch can really provide.
Or, you know, speaking about India as a whole for some of us who have never been there before?
Yeah, I think generally if you're well traveled, it is all right to take very basic precautions. Carry specific medicines if you have any, which you may not. Can you hear us? Yes, okay. Okay, so just carry whatever medicines that you're most comfortable with. We have everything available in India, but at times people are more comfortable with the generics that they're more used to. You will find clean water available everywhere to buy, so don't panic about that. Any health institution, I'm not sure about the health insurance in case if that is something that is a compulsory mandatory thing when you're actually getting your visas, but if there is an option of getting a insurance along with your flight ticket or something, have that in place so that it can help facilitate just in case if there is a medical emergency that you need to basically be taken care of. Anything else that you need in India in terms of information, you want to plan your trip post the entire lab, I'm here to help you. And I can help you design whatever program you want to, and I can facilitate actually connecting you with people any part of India. So yeah, you'll be in good hands over here. So don't worry about it.
Nice to have everybody together. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, crazy awesome.
Crazy awesome. Exactly. Thanks, Arch. I know you'll take care of us. And yes, everybody, Archana is incredible, and she will help you on many fronts. And Archana, just to answer your question, everybody does need to show their medical insurance as proof to come on the Water Innovation Lab. So we can't have that risk. So all of that is taking place. Thank you very much. What else? Oh, let me talk weather. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're good. Hold on. Weather. So mid-January in India, we are going to be in sort of 3 different climatic zones. So when we're in Mumbai, it will be pretty hot, as it is in Mumbai pretty much all the time, from what I understand. But anyway, Arch, you can correct me on that. Bhuj, we are going into an arid climate. And then in Udaipur, it is actually going to be very cold at night. So medium during the day, kind of 24 degrees Celsius, what is that, about 70, 72 or something like that, Fahrenheit, in that range. So the days are going to be nice. The evenings are going to be cold. Or yeah, Manish did say, please prepare for cold. There's no heat at Swaraj. So pay please attention to this. For those people that are packing and have a small sleeping bag, there are covers and stuff that are going to be given at Swaraj, but they specifically said for people that it is not a huge imposition to put a small sleeping bag in your luggage, please do so. If you are somebody that gets cold easily, like layers is key. It's really mostly for the evenings. We're going to be outside. We're about 20 minutes outside of Udaipur city. So we're out in nature. Definitely have, comfortable shoes for being out in nature. This goes for the entire trip. I would say at most bring 1, maximum 2 sort of more professional outfits for like the day at Tata and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're going to be comfortably dressed. I don't want to say super casual, but comfortably dressed so that you can be the best of yourself in all different circumstances. But we don't want people freezing at night. The other thing, just to let you know, in January, Donna and I will be in touch and we'll be asking people if you don't have a sleeping bag or it is very inconvenient for you to have a sleeping bag. At that point, we will ask you to just do a checklist and we will be ordering more blankets for those that need them at Swaraj. So just sort of keep this in mind as you're thinking of things you want to pack. Just keep these different climate and time of year points in your minds. Another thing too is I know some of the people that are coming and you are musically inclined, and we totally welcome you bringing along any of your music that with you. I'm sure there's gonna be lots of opportunity. It's never failed us. Any of our previous water innovation labs, the evenings are incredibly fun and social, and we let the evenings unfold as they do. So please know that is, we welcome that. Other things, I won't get into right now, but I've had a few emails lately from some of the Indian participants. Because the majority of their fees were paid up front, there's a 5,000 fee. Some of you have been asking me how you're going to pay this. We will send you info on this in the weeks ahead. So please stay tuned on that. So I'm almost done. I know there's some questions, of course, but let me just sort of say what is going to happen next. So we are going to be sending out prep materials in the weeks ahead. So some of the questions, hotel addresses, those kinds of details, all of that is going to come in a detailed schedule. The resource guests that are on this call or those that are going to listen to it in its recorded format, at the exact same time of day on December 15th, we have another webinar and we will have much more information for you on your roles, expectations, how you're going to be sharing your knowledge. After this call, maybe right after this call, all of you are going to be getting this web link for you to be putting in your flight information, and we appreciate the sooner that you can get that into us, the sooner we can keep moving other parts of the program forward. For those of you that have not, this is for participants, for those of you that have not yet sent your bios to Donna, please do so, because that is going to be another part of the package that we are going to be pulling together. For the resource guests that have not sent us bios, if you have been communicating more with IC Impacts, please send them your bios, or you can send them to me or to Donna. But we are very keen to have your bios so that we can get them up onto the website. And there will be a packing list. So I know I just touched on a few things, but there will be a packing list, and there will also be pre-reading material suggestions. We're not trying to overwhelm people with too much prep, but we also think that around the 7 theme areas, it's very useful. So we've reached out to all of our resource guests to say, can they share, 2 sources, and we will organize those. And, for those of you that are on long haul flights, excellent reading time. For those of you in India, we hope you can find the time as well to read them. Like I said, we're going to try and manage not too much, but we think that us getting into some kind of shared space of having read similar pieces, I think will help a lot of the discussions. Also in January, there will be a pre-survey for you to fill out. IC Impacts and Waterlution, we're very keen on learning as much as we can from multiple angles on what this process, what your expectations are going in. How many people do you already know? How many more people are you going to want to work with on the outside as we exit the Water Innovation Lab? So this pre-survey is going to be very important for us. It's an incredible way for us to be able to also figure out if this is something we're going to do in the future. What were the things that worked? Anyway, that will be coming to you in January before everything kicks off. So from my side, I think I've gotten through my notes, and we really wanted to try and get through this in an hour. I'm okay to go 5 minutes over, but Donna, if you want to share questions, I will try and get through them.
Okay, sounds good. Hopefully everyone can hear me now. I want to hand it over quickly to Archana, who is going to be answering one of the questions live, which is about what is appropriate clothing to wear.
Okay, just a few things. I'm not sure, Karen, if we are getting, like, there is a second question if we are wearing business wear, but I thought comfortable clothing would be fine over there. We are a little conservative in some regions, so clothing largely cover your hands. And if you wear something like trouser with a shirt, or denims with a shirt or something, is absolutely fine. We try not to wear too low necks in different parts where we are going, actually. It should be, other than that, it is absolutely fine. Like, we are not visiting any religious spaces, but we might end up visiting some of them while we are out on a tour, and you need to keep your arms covered and your legs covered. So just be cautious about what kind of clothes you carry. Mumbai is going to be pleasant in January. It's not that hot, but it is going to be pleasant in the sense the temperature can vary from 15 to 22 degrees anywhere, and it's a very unpredictable city. So I would rather that you come prepared. You will any which ways be prepared for Rajasthan. And yeah, so layers is important, like Karen mentioned. That is very, very essential that you must carry. Yeah, more than that, wear shoes which are easy to remove, because there might be spaces you might enter where they may not allow shoes to go inside. So if you wear something with complicated laces and everything, it is that much of more time that you will need to, take it out and wear it again and those kind of things. Besides that, I was just looking at some other questions over here. Yeah, I think that is something. I'm not sure what TP in a bathroom is, so I won't be able to answer that. I just wanted to say one more thing about the currency. People who are coming from all over the world and Canada, we have arranged with our local partners to provide you with currency. So don't go to the airport exchange to make the currency change, because you will get really horrible rates over there. And we have got better exchange rates arranged for you, and that can be done in a proper manner. So we will share all these details on currency, on the kind of electronic sockets that are available, the kind of clothes you can wear, maybe in a small document, and we can share it with you so that you know the guidelines that you can basically keep in mind before you come here. Okay? All right.
TP is toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Yes.
Yeah, you need toilet paper in all the bathrooms in India, yes.
Yes, I would.
Except for Swaraj University, so there we will have to buy a whole bunch of it and carry it with us, so we'll do that.
I would say, yeah, bring a roll or two of toilet paper. I just think it's better to have it. The other thing that Archana mentioned is realize that we're 50 to 55 people at all times. So I prefer if you do bring the medications and stuff that you want, because it is not going to be easy for people to say, oh, I know I can buy toilet paper in India. Like, just, like us trying to get everybody's needs met, or, oh, I really need this medication. Of course we will get it for you, but anything that you can come so that you are self-sufficient to the best of your planning abilities for 12 days. I think we're just trying to do as much as we can so that we can focus on the program and not spend half a day running to get something. We want to keep those for when it's really needed. Like I said, of course, if anybody gets sick or anything like that, of course, we're going to take care of you. But more that you have as we start things, the less little running around we need to do.
Okay, I've got another question here. I think it's an important one. Someone is asking, do you recommend that we carry our laptops or devices? So I just want to say, for example, I'll be bringing mine because I will need it. But I think on this point, Karen, you can touch on it. It's really up to you, depending on what you think you need and how much of it you need.
Yeah, I mean, I think people can bring their laptops and their devices. Obviously people are going to need to carry them with them, so they can be in the hotel rooms, especially in Mumbai. I think in Bhuj there will be Wi-Fi. It's quite common in hotels that they say that there's Wi-Fi, but then it's really only in the lobby area and stuff. So we understand that many people have much going on. So absolutely people can bring their laptops and stuff. And when we go out on a tour, they'll be under the bus in the compartments, anything that's valuable. It's totally up to you. Like, I think it's very reasonable for people to have backpacks with them, with their water bottles, with a snack, that kind of stuff. And, we can't be responsible for stuff. I mean, India is not an unsafe place. It's like anywhere in the world, anything can happen. So, put your computer in your backpack or stuff like that. But in today's day and age, I would say it's pretty hard for people to live for 12, 13 days without their devices. The other thing on that note is people, if you want to turn on cell phones, foreigners and stuff, make sure you have data roaming, and it will be very expensive. So, I mean, it's logical, but just keep this in mind. We will be in many places where there will be Wi-Fi. We will also be many places where there will be no Wi-Fi. And so if for any reason you feel like you need to have access to information, make sure that in advance you figure out what your data roaming packages are ahead of time.
Okay, I've got a question from Sutapa in Mumbai. So she's from Mumbai. She's asking, should she stay in the hotel with all the other participants or in her own institute in Mumbai? And Sutapa, okay, Karen,
Go ahead.
So we are booking hotel for everyone, including our Indian participants. So
and our Mumbai-based participants.
Our Mumbai-based participants as well. So everyone will be staying together at the same hotel. Just keep that in mind. You have the option if you want, but do communicate that to us in advance. You are, however, joining the whole group, and the intention is for all of us to stay together throughout the process, so we're all in the same experience together. And it is an intense program, so we want to make sure that you're around for all the important pieces.
Yeah, so to reiterate that, we would strongly like Sutapa and anybody else that lives in Mumbai or in Greater Mumbai, we really want you to stay from the night of the 18th with us in Mumbai. Of course, if there's some reason you can't, but it will just take away from the experience. So please be with us. We have a hotel room booked for you.
Okay, another question from Happy. What's your expected outcome of the whole program from the participants' side?
Okay, well, that's a good question. A lot of what you get out is going to be about what you put in. So from a participant side, we want you to come away. There's been a lot of demand. One of the intersection points between IC Impacts and Waterlution was that both of us have seen a lot of demand for these experiential learning types of programs. And so we are hoping that you come away with much deeper knowledge on a variety of topics, that you've gotten hands-on experience, that you have found, you've increased your network of, of people. Networks are a lot of what moves the world forward. And so we are increasing networks. We hope that there is many new collaborations or deepened collaborations that come out of the process. And as we, with every Water Innovation Lab we've done, what you put in has a direct linkage to what you get out. This is not an experience where you're just sitting back and listening to people. This is you participating. So the more effort you make to learn from other people, to deepen your conversations, to spend time understanding what motivates them, you're gonna, the potential for your career, I think is quite substantial. And I know, I think Sue Ropel is on the call. I can't see everybody that's on the call, but she may also have some things to contribute. And I know we're going over time now. So if she has anything else that she would like to add to that, we will include that in the large package when it comes out.
So we have a lot of questions that I think what we can do is happily address via a document and via email. I just maybe will touch on a couple of ones that are quick to respond to here. Any opportunities to stay in Swaraj longer? Yes, of course, that would be up to you, because after Swaraj, our program is over. So if you want to stay longer, you're welcome to do that and make the arrangements yourself.
Yeah, and they would have to contact Manish, because they do a lot of programs at Swaraj. So the only thing I just want to say is that yeah, you need to contact Suraj yourself and organize that yourself. Because as of the morning of the 29th, our program's over. But if they have, if it's available, I'm sure they're happy for it to exist.
And two more questions, Karen. I'm combining them. One is, do we get assigned a theme based on our application, or do we offer our preferences? And coming with that is, what is the pitch for? Is it a competition or presenting and sharing our results? Any help and support from the community, or will there be any help and support from the community to keep working on our collective projects once WIL is over?
Okay, great questions. We would never assign you a theme. We want it to be something that you select, and you will see, I understand for many people, they're like, how's this all going to unfold? It will be very clear as we work through the facilitation on the morning of the 21st. We are figuring out with the facilitation team what is the best format. So I mentioned a Pro-Action Cafe. Some of you have participated in one of those, some of you have not. Please don't worry. It's all going to make sense. We're just trying to figure out what approaches we want to use in our design. And this also fits in with the amount of time available. So you will be picking projects that fit for you. So some people will be putting projects forward, and other people will be saying, oh my goodness, that I so want to work on that idea. Or I feel similarly that this is a big challenge within the water sector in India. I want to put this forward. So people are going to group together. The reason for pitches is that it's an amazing skill for you to have in your life, to communicate a whole bunch of information and to share back with your colleagues and friends what it is that you've learned and how you approached looking at a challenge and what you would see as a solution or a series of solutions. So it's more of part of your capacity building training, and pitching back and making sure that we cross-pollinate, because there's no way that everybody's going to have deep understanding of what other groups are working on. So the pitch is a bit of a showcase so that people are sharing back their ideas. And we will see from a lot of the community partners in and around Udaipur, we will be inviting them to the pitch afternoon and to be part of our celebration evening with us. We just are working out logistically how that will work out. And absolutely, if you work on some projects, you know, we don't, you know, of course, you know, you can work on projects afterwards. You know, again, because we don't have the details of what your projects are going to be yet, which is fine. We don't want them yet. We're not in the context. We haven't begun yet. But absolutely. We're at 10 after 11. So I would like us to close off quickly, or soon, I should say. Is there anything, can you just skim the questions and see if there's anything that is quick that needs answering? If not, we will, Donna has all of the questions, and we will answer them in the package or in an email if we feel that it's pressing.
Okay, I'll quickly browse through that. So questions regarding to visa and who to send that information to, we will send you an email with the details on how to send us that information. We've got from resource guests, so do you want the resource guest to forward some short background info on our technology? That would be great, and we can include it in the package that will go out that has everyone's short bios. It would be wonderful if you can also include a little piece on your technology or, you know, research background. From Mike, okay, we are working on the document that we will send out to everyone, which is what to pack, what to prepare for, everything you need to know, a summary of this webinar. All of that will be included and sent your way. So don't worry, all that information will be typed up and sent to you. And the last one is, when can we expect to receive more information about logistics, planning, etc.? That will happen in the next couple of weeks. So you should have it in your inbox as soon as we have it ready. We just want to make sure we don't miss any key pieces. So we're going to work on it in the background diligently, pass it on to each other, vet it, and then send it your way.
Yeah, and one other thing on that is that Archana is in Brazil right now. That is her city beside Flavia in Brazil. And Arch is going up to Bruges to figure out some of the other logistical pieces. So my dream would be, let's say, December 20th. I would like this information to be to you, or the 20th to the 23rd of December is when we hope there will be more logistical information happening. Please realize that we have 12 days, so we have pieces of it figured out, but obviously you need it in a whole. We're not going to send it to you in pieces. So we need to figure out this TATA piece and stuff like that. But please know it's a high priority item, and like, we're not forgetting to send it to you. Is that it?
That's it on our end in terms of the chat box. Otherwise, if there's anyone else with burning questions, feel free to email us. You've got Karen's email. You hopefully have mine because you're sending me your bios. And we will direct any questions to resource guest or the facilitation team as they come to us.
And we thank you so much for spending the time. And I know, again, I hope it's okay for me speaking on IC Impact's behalf as well, to say I know that they're really looking forward to this entire experience as well. And we're really looking forward to, you know, this partnership. And we can't wait to meet all of you. It's, as Archana said, it's going to be a crazy, wonderful time together. There's going to be a lot of learning. Yeah, it's just going to be really great. So thank you for making the time.
Okay, bye then. Everybody's gone. I don't know who's seeing us. Leave meeting from there.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yay. Bye, everyone. Yay.
Yay.
Bye, Arch.
Bye, love. And should we connect on the other call right now? Immediately?
We can do that. I'm just going to stop recording and grab all the...
Or should we connect in some time? Because she also needs to go for a meeting and have lunch as well. So
Yes.
Yeah, but let's talk a bit and then I can leave.
Okay, so
Yeah.
quickly, let's just
Okay.
connect right away.
Okay.